Hey everyone, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here. I was just reading some funny comments you guys left. Yeah, some of you don't know what humor or sarcasm is, which is funny because you make yourselves look really ridiculous in the comments. I don't delete those comments because they're funny. I get a good laugh out of them. Anyway, speaking of a good laugh, there was Ultimate Moves today. So I didn't watch it because I went to see a movie, but I'm sure it was great. Rex's team beat Randy's team. Anyway, well, you looked at games with 2,700 players long enough, and since you looked at some Kasparov games, you're ready for the bottom of the barrel now, which is going to be my game from round 2 from last week's tournament, the Southern Congress. I've already made videos with rounds 1, 3, and 4. I took a bye in round 5, but I didn't show round 2 yet. This is against Weston Sharpe. He's a 17-year-old, 16-year-old from Tennessee. He's an expert, and I played him in round 2. I had the black pieces, and yeah, this game was played, I guess, exactly a week ago. No, it was played 8 days. No, that's right, today's Saturday. Yeah, so it was played a week ago. I know what day it is. Okay, so I played my usual, closed Benoni stuff, and my opponent was baffled. He either doesn't watch my videos, doesn't know who I am, doesn't know this opening, or all of them. I'm going to pick all of them. He even said later that he was totally confused in the opening. Okay, you've seen me have this position many times. This position as well, h3, which I don't think is a good move, but all right. And he decided not to castle, so I played h5. I wanted to play h. Usually, I just close my eyes and it's like you guys played in London. I just play the same 10 moves. But normally here, without looking, I would play castles, h6, a6, bishop d7, and then I would start thinking. But I decided to play h5 here because I wanted to play h4 and then knight h5 and knight f4. So that looked good to me. And he played g3. So I played h4 and he played g4. I thought I was better here. Of course, the engine always says white's better because white has more space. But I didn't see anything white could do. Queen c2 is a very strange move. I don't know why he did that. Bishop d7. We're not trading anything. a4 is not strategically good for white because one of white's plans is to play b4. And he's definitely not going to play f4. So a4 is a strange move. Knight h7, I want to go to g5. So he played queen d2, which is where the queen should have gone to originally. And normally I play really quickly in these positions because I've played them so often. And I know what the ideas are for both sides. And that's actually the case here. My opponent was taking tons of time, and I was playing fast. And nothing much going on. I'm trying to trade off my dark square bishop, but trying is the first step to failure. Okay, I played bishop f6 because at some point I'm going to play knight f4 and sack a pawn, which even the engine does, and get all the dark squares. So when I do that, I want my bishop to be on f6. So when I take with my e-pawn, my bishop's well placed. Rook a3, a little bit strange, but it's okay. And I castled. Yeah, I could castle or not castle. I figured get my rook into the game eventually. King d1, which is a strange move, but I guess he's going to c2 and just chilling. Rook e8. Once again, the purpose of the move is bishop f6, and rook e8 is the same. When I play knight f4, if he takes it, and I take back, I want my rook on e8, my bishop on f6. So I'm just preparing to play knight f4 at some point. King c2, rook b8, rook b1. And the engines always play knight f4, actually sacking a pawn. And I decided not to. I played knight f8. One idea is to play g5 and then put my knight back on g6 and then play knight f4. So, yeah, it was so crazy noise from the other room. Okay. Yeah. And now he made a decision the engines don't like. Well, the engines don't necessarily understand these positions. You'll notice we've played quite a few moves, and we haven't traded anything yet, which is unusual. I have a huge time advantage here, which was lucky. The engine wants to play b4, which I think is white's only way to ever do anything ever. But he did something else. So my last move, if you remember, was knight f8, which unprotects my h-pawn, and he decided to take it. So he played g5, and then he took on h4. Terrible decision on his part. Now, a lot of his pawns are hanging, but he probably thought if I take them, I open up the roads to my king. And he's right. So, okay, but it's very anti-positional of him because now he has an isolated H. Whoa, and whoa, he's got all that stuff. He has. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong button. Okay, he has an isolated H pawn, and his knight is on a very strange square. So he played knight f5. Now the computer thinks I have a big advantage, and it does something I thought about, but I didn't want to do. Normally I would say knight f5 for his last move, but yeah, it's not really that strong. So the computer wants me to play knight f3 and then knight d4, which I saw, and it says I'm like plus 0.8. Okay, so I played bishop takes f5, which it doesn't like as much, and then e4. So I'm sacking a pawn a different way than I was going to, but I have knight d7 to e5, and I have bishop f6, and his king is on c2 for some reason. His rook's on a3. Extra pawn is going to be ridiculous. So, okay, and he took. I played bishop f6, and his bishop is hanging on e4, so he moved it. And I played knight d7. I want to go to e5. And I like my position. I'm down a pawn, but I have everything. I mean, I have the e-file. My bishop on f6 is great. His pawn structure is terrible. His bishop on g2 is terrible. His king is on c2. So I was pretty happy here. Okay, bishop f4, and his idea was to take. And luckily, when he does this, if he plays the move f4, which looks like it wins a piece, I can take this. And then he takes back somehow, and I play knight e4. And I think black has a big advantage. So he played knight e2. Well, now he's going to play f4. Okay, so I played bishop back, knight back to c3. And the engine doesn't like what I did here. It wants me to do this rigmarole where I move my knight around this way. It wants me to do that a lot, actually. Okay, but I took because I thought my knight was much better than his bishop. He can't take with the queen because I'll play rook e2 check. Taking with a pawn is weird. So he took with a rook. Queen f6. And I thought I was probably winning here strategically, but the computer says like I'm slightly better. So, okay, queen d3. Now I was sort of falling in love with taking this pawn and getting my rooks on the open e line. So I played. Oh, I did that next move. I'm sorry. So I played knight h7, which is correct. And after b4 takes. I should continue my knight h7-ness, and then I can go to c5 or e5. And the computer says black has a big advantage because his bishop on g2 just isn't very good. In fact, I think it's scared. Wait, that wasn't the scared one. That's the scared one, yellow. So after knight f8, knight d7, the computer says I have a huge advantage, but I played rook e5. I wanted to either take his pawn or double rooks, and played bishop e4. And I played a5. Now, the reason I play a5 is funny. So during the game, I was like, well, I want to play a5. And the reasoning is I thought his counterplay was to play c5 and activate his rook and get it past d-pawn. And after a5, if his rook's not on b4 and he plays c5, then I can play queen h4 attacking his bishop on e4. Which his rook on b4 is defending if he plays c5. Well, if his rook's not on b4, then it's not. Then his a-pawn's hanging, potentially. And my main reason for playing a5 was it was setting a trap, but he didn't fall for it. I thought rook b6 was an obvious move because white wants to play c5. And then I play queen h4, which threatens the bishop twice and threatens queen f2 check, which picks up his rook. And I thought maybe he wouldn't notice that. So I don't know. Yeah, now that I'm looking, I never looked before, but I don't think I changed anything, which means you guys are crazy. One of us is crazy. Maybe it's both. A few people complained, unless it's one guy on several accounts, that I don't have the notation on the board so they can't follow. But I do have the notation on the board. And I didn't change it. I think it's always been there. So I don't know. When I say it's on the board, it's actually on the board. So I like H and G and F. It's right here. So it's right there. I mean, I don't know. It seems right. So either that's a new thing that I accidentally put on, or it's always been there and you can't see it, or I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think it's just always been there. I don't know. Anyway, you guys will write in and explain like why I'm wrong, so that's fine. Okay. So anyway, he didn't play Rxb6. He played Rxb1, which isn't the engine move. And I played Queen H4, attacking his bishop, and he played F3, saving his F pawn and his bishop. However, breaking a very important rule: never play F3. Knight F6, D1. Now, after the game, I was pretty mad because I played Rook E8 because I figured, what's my rook doing on B8? And I was like, I should have played Knight D7 because he can play C5 now. And then he played C5, and I was like, God, why didn't I play Knight D7 and then Knight C5 and then Rook E8? What a dummy I am. And if it was today, I would play Knight D7, but the engine likes Rook E8. It says C5 is a mistake. So now it wants me to take, and I didn't want to give him a pass D pawn that was dangerous, so I didn't do that. It's like take this and take this and take this and take, and great, because, you know, A4 is hanging, and his king is ridiculous. But I was like, well, he has a pass pawn, not material. So I didn't want to do that. Computer says monster advantage to black if I do that. But I didn't like that. So I did take, and after D6, it wants me to take on E4 and take on E. It's like, wow, you're doing great. It doesn't care about this passed pawn. I did. So I played Rook D8, stopping his passed pawn. I really never wanted to trade my knight for his bishop because his bishop's just terrible. And if his bishop moves to either, well, I guess it has to go to B7 if it moves. I could take on A4 with check. And I really liked my knight. So anyway, he played Rook C4. And I played B6 because I didn't see a good discovery with his bishop. When he moves his bishop, his rook, well, not again. When I move the bishop, the rook is attacking my queen. But I remove my queen. I can play queen F2 check. I can play queen takes H3. So here I'm up a pawn. Or no, not up a pawn. I thought I was up a pawn. Darn. I'm potentially up a pawn because H3 is sort of indefensible. And the D pawn, I think, is weaker than it is strong because I'm really blockading it well. I'm not up a pawn. I thought I was up a pawn. Oh. I guess you have to take a pawn to be up a pawn. Makes sense. Yeah, I was down a pawn. Yeah, so I mean, and I think this is where he lost on time. I think it was move 40. So it's White's 40th move at his time right now. And we had delay. We had 10-second delay, but he just let his clock run out. I think the engine says I'm like plus 0.8 or 0.9. So that was a really weird game. But a lot of my Bononis like that are very weird. It's funny, like the final position looks like I'm playing normally. I have a king on G8, I castled, my rooks are in the center, my knight's on F6. And my opponent has 5 isolated pawns. So it looks like I'm playing normal and he's not. But yeah, I played the opening my usual very strange way to confuse my opponent. My opponent was confused and ended up losing on time. So I don't know if I'm winning here. It's interesting that 2 supercomputers were playing. I think black would win, but I don't know. Levon Aronian plays a similar style to me in this opening, except he always castles really early, and I always play knight d7, knight f8, knight g6, and then usually I castle, except when I don't. And this opening, you know, I've beaten in my videos here Mamedyarov and Gazzoli and Conrad Holt and many other games in real life. Those are all pro chess league games. But I've played this a lot in slow chess, so it's really good in rapid and in blitz because I can play the first 10, 15 moves without thinking because I have so much experience, and usually my opponents don't. I recommend that to my students. If you have pet lines you like that are sort of rare, and you've played them a lot in blitz and rapid and slow chess, and you know a lot of the ideas, and there's not a lot of theory, that's great. And actually, I learned this opening when Anand was in Brussels. I'm not sure if he was even staying with us then, but probably. This was maybe in 1989, maybe 88. I'm thinking 88. There was a tournament in Brussels that was a game 30 with no increment, no delay. I don't think increment and delay existed then. And it was a very strong tournament. It was like 9 rounds, and there were a lot of GMs and IMs. And Anand didn't win. We actually got paired in that tournament, and he beat me. He was losing most of the game, and then I had like 3 minutes and he had like 20 minutes, so that he took all my pieces. I think I lost in like 85 moves. He just played instantly. But yeah, in that tournament, the way I played this opening with, you know, Knight, he did that every game with Black. I'd never seen it before. I've never seen him do it since. So that was weird. I guess he learned that way of playing, and then he decided to play it in a rapid tournament, and then he discarded it. And Aronian plays similar, as I said, but not exactly that way. In fact, Yasser Seirawan used to play the way that Aronian plays now. And that Aronian's not playing that in slow chess. He does it in rapid and blitz all the time. In fact, I played one blitz game in my life with Levon Aronian in St. Louis outside just for fun, and he did that against me. And I sacked all my pieces, and then I resigned because I had no pieces left. I thought it was Bughouse, but no pieces were coming to me. Okay, went to the Chess Center again today, posted a video on Facebook. The tournament room, which can fit 80 players, has all the sets and boards and pieces and clocks and tables and chairs. It's ready to go. And we got to work on the other rooms. We have a lot of other stuff to do that's usually behind the scenes you guys don't know about, but there's a lot to do. And we spent, I think, $2,000 yesterday buying stuff for the Chess Center, and I spent another $5,000 maybe. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's fun running a Chess Center. We're not even open yet. So remember to come on September 9th for you German speakers, 9/9, and donate and keep donating. The more you donate, the more we open the Chess Center. atlchessclub.com/donate. atlchessclub.com is our website. You can join the club. You can becoming a member. You can look at all of our tournaments. You can even enter our tournaments. We don't have the functionality yet to pay online to enter our tournaments. That'll be in about a week or two. But you can call us or email us and try to enter the tournament, and we'll say no. So remember, come play in the Blitz on September 9th. Have free food and drinks. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And keep up with your insanity regarding Kasparov, Carlsen, Wesley So. What else are you guys stupid about? Morphe. Yeah, I'm missing some people here. Aronian, Geary maybe? And most importantly, Ginger GM Simon Williams. Simon did get home safely, but that's unfortunate he couldn't do his work in Iowa. I was actually hoping he would come to Atlanta sometime and do lectures in Simons here and sell his DVDs and, you know, have a drinking contest with me. You know, I was drinking before he was born. Let's see, 37. I wasn't drinking before he was born. Darn. I was drinking before you were born. Yeah, Simon's actually 10 years younger than I am, so I have to plead ignorance. All right, see you guys next time. Hopefully there'll be some more Super GM tournaments. We can look at some good games. Until then, this is Grandmaster Ben Finegold with a shorter video than the last 2 days. You guys need that because, you know, a long video, you know, attention span and such. All right, remember, donate, donate, donate. It's the only thing that matters. See you next time. Bye.